Now back to the Trump presidency, and Margaret Brennan, moderator of Face the Nation, joins us now. Margaret, good to see you, as always. President Donald Trump's impeachment trial really gets going next week. What can we expect at the start of the trial?
Well, some of that is still being negotiated behind closed doors with Senate Republican leaders and the White House. But what we can expect is over the weekend, we should be getting more details, including the president's response to the impeachment in written form. We know that on Tuesday, there'll be some discussion of the rules of engagement, so to speak, some procedural things. But the negotiation is underway regarding whether or not to promise to take and hear from witnesses in the future over the course of this trial. That is really one of the main points of difference between Democrats and Republicans. And what we have learned is that the president has been adding to his legal team, and he is putting some sort of guest stars on it, people who are well-known attorneys like Alan Dershowitz, who says he will be coming to brief on constitutional issues. So there will be a lot of coverage that you can expect across the news networks, because this isn't just everyday politics. This is historic. This is only the third time our country has gone through this process.
Certainly historic, and there are several familiar names on the president's legal team. Who else stands out to you, Margaret?
Well, Ken Starr was somebody who caught a lot of people by surprise when he was named to it just in the past 24 hours. Many Americans may remember him from the impeachment of Bill Clinton. He was, of course, the one who ran the investigation and built the case against Bill Clinton years ago. But now he will be coming and speaking about the sort of the history of impeachment when he addresses senators. But behind the scenes, there are at least 24 attorneys who are working on this with the president's team. Many of the names you won't know, but they are the worker bees, and you will be hearing them try to rebut the arguments being made by House Democrats. One of them will be on our show this Sunday. Jerry Nadler, chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, will be coming on to explain what Democrats' strategy is. And we'll also speak to John Cornyn of Texas about how they'll try to constrain the trial in a way that gets the speedy end the president's team is hoping for.
And Margaret, President Trump signed part of the trade deal with China this week, and also the trade deal with Mexico and Canada was passed by the Senate. What does this mean for consumers?
Well, for the president, it's a political win. For consumers, we'll have to see on some of it. There is good news for American farmers who, in this phase one trade deal, were promised about $200 billion worth of purchases by China, something that will also, some promises in there that would help out U.S. manufacturers. But for consumers, there is still the threat embedded in this deal of existing tariffs. There's still tariffs on over $300 billion worth of goods. That essentially as a price increase that gets passed along to consumers. So it's a mixed bag there. The free trade deal between Mexico and Canada is something that the White House argues will be good for labor standards. Many Senate Republicans were very skeptical of the agreement the president came to with House Democrats, but the White House argues that it was something that was good for both.
All right, Margaret Brennan, thank you very much. Join Margaret this week for Face the Nation. Her guests this week include Senator John Cornyn and House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler. That's Sunday morning at 10:30.